Breaking news this morning, police looking for 4 masked gunmen who broke into several homes. One was on 15th Avenue South near downtown. Officials tell us those gunmen broke into a home, and then when police showed up, they break into a neighbor's house where they pistol whipped someone and stole an Xbox and some cash. Police say they tried to take off in the green Chevy Caprice you see right there with the distinctive rims on it, but they could not get to it in time, so they took off on foot. So the car, if you've known who that car belongs to, contact authorities. Canines have been called out for the search. If you can help police, give Crime Stoppers a call at 74-CRIME. A semi and a small sedan were involved in an accident just after 3 o'clock this morning that snarled traffic for a bit on the interstate. It was in the southbound lane near the construction area of I-65. The driver of the sedan you see right there suffered minor injuries and was taken to Vanderbilt. It's unclear what caused the crash. All of those lanes were back open to traffic, and it was flowing smoothly about an hour after the crash.
The home went up in flames, and by the time the fire was out, someone was in handcuffs. When firefighters got to the home on Lorna Drive just off Donaldson Pike around 10 last night, flames and smoke were already shooting out of a window and a door. Firefighters went in, found the fire in the living room, quickly knocked it out. 3 people were home at the time, and officials say one of them might have started the fire. One person was taken into custody for questioning, and the home suffered significant smoke and fire damage and is no longer livable. There was another suspicious fire several hours later on Boscobel Street in East Nashville. Firefighters were called out about 1:30 this morning. Turns out that it was a shed behind an abandoned house was burning. Neighbors told officials they could smell gasoline. Fire investigators are looking into it.
2 people were shot last night in Nashville's Edge Hill neighborhood. Police tell us those victims were with friends on 14th Avenue South at Edge Hill around 7 last night when another group showed up. Gunfire erupted. 2 people were hit, taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. They'll be okay. Police are still looking for the trigger man. A man who police say committed a string of violent attacks is now in custody. Authorities have been looking for convicted felon Antonio Batts for some time now. Police say on July the 7th, he shot his cousin. He's accused of shooting another man about 10 days later on 14th Avenue North. And just yesterday, police say Batts kidnapped a man, robbed him of about $10, and then beat him with a pistol. Police found and arrested 36-year-old Batts yesterday on Crouch Drive. He's now behind bars.
A former Clarksville cop and a pastor charged with 2 counts of rape won't be going to trial. That's according to the Leaf Chronicle. 60-year-old Charles Denton was supposed to go to trial Monday on charges he inappropriately had sexual contact with the victim between June and August of 2012. Instead, he entered a guilty plea yesterday to an amended count of sexual battery. He will serve 3 years of probation and must register as a sex offender for 10 years. The man accused of hiding a video showing Holly Bobo after she was kidnapped is due back in court today. Jeff Piercy appeared before a judge earlier this month, but his case was continued until this afternoon. At his last appearance, the state permitted him to remove a GPS tracking bracelet as long as he didn't have contact with an unnamed witness. If you'd like to watch what happens in court today, we'll be streaming it live starting at 1 o'clock from newschannel5.com.
Governor Gov Haslam has several questions for President Obama this morning about the hundreds of kids who have crossed into the U.S.'s southern border unaccompanied and ended up in Tennessee. The governor says he was never told the kids were coming. He wants to know where they are, who they are, and how they were placed with their sponsor families, and why he wasn't given a heads up on it. He outlines all of this in a letter to the president. A longtime Nashville immigration attorney, however, says this has been going on for years, but only recently has gained media attention.
If they get sent to a sponsor, to a family, that is something that is a lifesaver. That's something that we should be joyous about.
We've gotten Governor Haslam's full letter to the president right now on newschannel5.com if you would like to read that. Speaking of politics and politicians, Senator Lamar Alexander and the state rep who wants to unseat him had a couple of rallies yesterday along Music Row. State Rep Joe Carr's campaign has been gaining momentum in recent weeks, picking up endorsements from the likes of Sarah Palin and conservative talk radio host Laura Ingraham. Senator Alexander, the incumbent, has spent the past several days crisscrossing Tennessee as part of a big bus tour.
The stakes in this election are high. Republicans have a chance to get the majority in the Senate. And if we get a majority in the Senate, I want to be a part of that majority and begin to move our our country in a more conservative direction.
The senator's supporters say campaign cash reserves and promising poll numbers are great signs going into next week's primary. Meantime, Carr's supporters continue taking aim at what they call Senator Alexander's, quote, moderate to liberal voting record.
And neighbors in East Nashville are fired up after a man says he was ignored when he tried helping a dog that was left in a hot car. Mark Covers snapped this picture Friday night. He was shopping at the East Nashville Kroger when he saw the dog left alone in a car. Of course, it was heating up, and Mark told us that he asked the manager to page the owner of the car but was ignored. Kroger, though, says there was a reason for that. The owner did eventually come out and take the dog. Officials with the Humane Association want to remind you it's against the law to break the window if you see a pet that's been left in a hot car. The best thing they say to do is to call Metro's non-emergency number.